everyone, welcome back to my channel Diabetes for Life. Today I'm going to be talking about my diagnosis story when I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. This story starts when I am 10 years old. I was bit by a tick somehow. I was walking the dog and ended up getting bit by a tick, and I got Lyme's disease, which I was so poorly. Yeah, I was in bed for weeks and weeks and weeks. Anyway, on top of that I got ringworm, so I was quite poorly. And then a couple of months after I'd recovered from that, I started losing loads of weight. I was 11 by this point, so I was only thin and small anyway, but I started losing so much weight, and my mum had noticed that my school trousers were like just dropping off me, so she was a bit concerned, and I'd come home from school every day exhausted and just collapse as soon as I came in the door, and then I'd just go to bed for hours and I'd cry for no reason. I was peeing all the time and drinking. The thirst that you get when your blood sugars are high is unreal. Honestly, you could sit in a bath and drink, well, that's a bit gross actually. You could sit under a tap for hours on end and still be thirsty. It is crazy. So I had all that going on with me, and eventually my mum decided to take me to the doctors. So yeah, they did a blood test and a little wee sample. I don't know what the sticks are called, but they put a little stick in my wee pot, and it came up really strong with sugar. And the nurse said, like, obviously she couldn't diagnose me, but she said, like, that's a lot of sugar. So they said they'd get back to me in a few days. The next day the doctors rang me, well, they rang my mum, and they said, you need to go to the hospital like as soon as you can. So my mum picked me up from school and we went to the hospital straight away. I didn't really have a clue what was going on, and I don't think my mum and dad did either, to be honest. They didn't say much, they just said, like, go to the hospital. So we got there and I thought, oh, they'll have my test results and I'll just be out later on and back to normal. They give me some medicine. But we were waiting in the waiting room, completely oblivious to what was going on, still feeling like crap. And somebody came through and said, oh, your bed will be clear in a minute and you can go through and set up your stuff for the night. And me and my mum just looked at each other like, well, what do you mean my bed will be set up? I didn't realise we were staying overnight. So anyway, cut a long story short, I was in hospital for about 7 days, and it was manic. I had appointments, diabetic specialists, nurses, doctors, I had appointments with dietitians, everything. It was so much to take in, and then on top of that, straight away nurses came in and they started to put injections in my legs and explain to me that every few hours I'd have to test my blood sugars, and it was all a daze really. It was absolutely mental. It was crazy. I can't remember exactly how I would have been feeling because I think it was all just a blur. It wasn't nice. I suppose it was a bit exciting. It was something different, and I'm not afraid of needles, so that didn't bother me. It bothered my mum. My mum is phobic of needles, so she was pooping us out. I came back home from the hospital and I sort of expected life to go back to normal, eating sweets whenever I wanted, drinking whatever I wanted to drink without having to think about injections. And obviously life had changed, and I think everybody in my family just found it really difficult to comprehend what was going on. Especially when I was going through that phase of, oh, don't talk to me about anything. I wouldn't talk to them. It was only really when I met my husband, or well, obviously he wasn't my husband back then, but it was only when I got to know him that he really took the time to study and research diabetes and research what would help me and how he could help me. and he's been the biggest help that anyone he's been a bit of a nag about it, but I needed that. I really needed a kick up the bum. So I am so grateful that he's helped me. And now my blood sugars are not perfect, and I think it's going to take a lot longer for them to get perfect, but I'm on the right track. And now I'm on an insulin pump. I used to be on 4 injections a day, but it ended up being more, which it was just the way it was. You had to just do it, don't you? If you've got diabetes, you just have to get on with it. There's nothing you can do, you have to just do it. So with my videos, I hope to be able to encourage other young people or other people who have been diagnosed and they haven't quite embraced their diabetes. I want to be able to help them realise that you don't have to be ashamed because you are different. You have an illness or a disease or a lifestyle or whatever you want to call it, and it's best to just embrace it. You can't change it, so you might as well make the most of it. Anyway, hopefully you all like my video. If you do, make sure to give it a thumbs up, comment and subscribe to me, and if you have any ideas on what you think I should do in my next video or in my upcoming videos, let me know, because I'd really like to know. And also if you've got any stories you want to share with me, your diagnosis story or anything, just let me know. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!